Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. My next guest is Mr. Josh Nealis, Cutthroat Comics, here to talk about his current Kickstarter, Cocaine-Stripper Stronghold. I had a blast watching you the other day on another podcast, and this comic looks pretty amazing, man. But before we get into that, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing, and just for the record, I'm coming off a cold, so if I'm coughing and sniffing, I was doing cocaine prior to this, but it's also the cold.
So. Oh, got you. All right, very good. Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. Well, Josh, let's before we get into it, man, I would love to kind of know a little bit more about your story. Where did your passion for storytelling begin, and how long have you been sitting on this story?
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been following each other on TikTok for a year and a half, something like that. I don't know exactly. Yeah. You know, and then I saw, you posting podcasts. I'm like, well, I might as well hit that dude up. And here we are. So I absolutely appreciate that.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, comics, just like anybody else, when you're a kid. And for me specifically, my grandma, me and my cousin would go stay with my aunt on weekends, sometimes down in Kentucky. And she would always give us 10, 20 bucks each or whatever. We'd always stop at this gas station in Jeffersonville, Kentucky. And my cousin and I would buy comic books. And that's how we got into this. And then shortly thereafter, X-Men, the animated series, and Batman started running, Spider-Man, all that. So really dove deep into it. Then all the Toy Biz toys and all that. And actually, I've got my Venom Lethal Protector up on the wall right behind this computer here, double signed, engraved. And that's one of the ones I bought at that little gas station.
Oh, wow.
So it's a 7.0, and I'm happy to have a 7.0. I don't care about a 9.8. That's my book from when I was a kid. Yeah. Double signed by Scott De La Rosa and Al Milgram. I mean, it's one of my favorite things. So,
and that you kept it that long too. That's awesome.
Yeah. Newsstand even. So
that's cool.
Proof I bought it at the gas station.
Sweet, man.
But yeah, as far as Cocaine-Stripper Stronghold goes, anybody that looks it up will see that it's issue 1 and novel. So it started with a novel. Just I actually like telling the story because it's weird. But you wake up in the morning and you look at your clock and you're like, oh, I got 5 more minutes before my alarm goes off. So you go back to sleep and you have one of those quick dreams, right? You fall right back into it. So that's what happened. I had one of those quick dreams, and when my alarm went off, somebody in my dream was yelling at me, and it was like echoing, and it just kept saying Cocaine-Stripper Stronghold several times. And then I woke up and I was like, it's weird. Turned off my alarm. I typed that in my phone notes. And then throughout the day, I was just like, that's a weird title. And I just came up with the premise for the novel. I wrote the novel in a couple months. And since then, I think that was 2022. So, 2.5 years ago now. And every couple cons I do, I'm out, sell out of them. So I have to order more books. And I want to say about a year and a half to almost 2 years ago, I was like, all right, I can't just do the novel that's selling real well and not do anything else with it, right? I mean, that would be ridiculous. If anything, you look at the movies nowadays and it's all franchises. So if you got something that's selling, make more of it. Yeah. So I sat down and I wrote a 4-part prequel comic series to the novel. It follows the main character, Jane. And she kind of, so like the novel is very Western, which is weird because I don't really like Westerns, but it turned out to just be like a Mad Max From Dusk Till Dawn kind of Western. And basically a horde of zombie businessmen and a biker gang are attacking a brothel out in the desert because they like cocaine and strippers. And makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
But anyway, the main character, I really liked her. Like the development of the book, even though it's a ridiculous book, I like to think my best quality as a writer is character development, I think. And I'm getting pretty good with dialogue, maybe not as good as Tarantino, but there. So, I was like, all right, well, how'd she get here? Because she's an interesting character. So pretty much the book opens and the first few pages are on the Kickstarter for people to see. So this isn't really a spoiler. But she starts her life, she was raised after the zombie apocalypse on like a high rise in a penthouse of a self-sustaining building. Her parents have now died. The building is falling apart. So she just doesn't have a choice. She's never been out in the world. She has to leave. And that's what sparks her hero's journey of sorts. And it's just a whole lot of zombie fun in this one.
That's awesome, and the art looks a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead, if it's okay, Josh. I'm gonna pull up the Kickstarter so everyone could take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
There she is. That's Jane.
She is. There's Jane right there on the cover. Yeah, let's kind of walk through some of the offerings and then maybe dig into your covers and all that good stuff, because I know you got some pretty amazing artists on this title working with you, which is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I didn't feel my name was big enough, so I had to hire two of the best.
Hey, you know what? I think we're all trying to do that, my friend. We're all trying to do that. I love it. I love it. Let's jump in right here on the campaign, man. It gives you a little bit of an overview, what you already provided for us.
Yep.
Started off as a novel, very successful novel, put it into a 4-part series as a prequel to the novel, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Awesome, man. So let's look at some of this art here. You want to kind of share a little bit about this page right here?
Yeah, so this is the Virgin sketch cover. I mean, I guess it's just called sketch cover, but it's pencils and inks only, as it is. And I mean, you get to see the grittiness of the cover, and as we'll cover even more, this page was done by Mike DiCarlo, who, if you're a comic fan, you know the name. I mean, if you like comics, even 15% of your life, you know who Mike DiCarlo is. Yeah. I met him at Louisville Con a couple years ago or something, and it was a little slow, so I walked over. I was talking to him and stuff, and I pretty much just said, hey, if you ever want to do something, I got this book that I'm going to start working on. Be cool to have you on it. And I told him the idea, and he was like, yeah, just email me, when you're ready to do it. So I emailed him the pitch and the script, and we kind of went back and forth a little bit. And then one day I was at my day job, my phone rings, and I'm like, who's calling me from Connecticut? So I answer it. He's like, hey, it's Mike DiCarlo. And I'm like, hello, sir. How are you doing? And he pretty much told me, he's like, this is an awesome story. I want to be part of it, and he made it a point to tell me, like, I don't just do everything. He's like, I can pick and choose what I want to do. I really like this. It sounds fun. I'm in. So nice. he did he's done the cover, and then he did some flashback pages as well that we kind of did in the vein of like Last Ronin a little bit, how Eastman did that with his flashback pages. I kind of wanted to do something with that. So, we get Cristiano Reyna as my main artist, and he's very new school, very bright, very colorful. And then, of course, Mike has that old school vibe to it. And that's what I wanted to do with the flashback pages, to kind of show, like, this is what happened in the past. You get a memory. Memories aren't as sharp and pretty as what's happening right now. So you get some grittiness. And as you'll see when we scroll down a little bit, we did kind of a monochromatic kind of theme with them. I mean, it turned out. And Cristiano added the colors there to that. That's the Virgin cover. That's awesome. It's great. I mean, and like those colors pop. I don't know anything about how they color things or what things are called, but however he did it, it's got some graininess to it. It really came out great.
No, that's awesome. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful.
There's so much going on in that cover. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, man. It's like Where's Waldo?
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, probably some pretty cool stuff to look at on the cover that you might find inside, maybe.
Yeah, I wish I could have. I should have. I don't think I have a picture. So I always do like little sketches of like layouts and stuff a little bit. I wish I had what I sent Mike of like the idea of it, because it was that, but not that at all. Like he really ran with it, and he blew it out of the water. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's the ability of a right? A veteran artist.
Yeah.
Like, I got you. I got your idea. I'll make it real.
Yeah, pretty much say no more.
Yeah, exactly. Say no more, man. It was beautiful. That's awesome. So then we get into the interiors, and this is your regular artist. You can see the difference here, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's not in a bad way. I didn't mean that in a bad way, but just obviously different style, a little bit newer style, less gritty, which is really nice.
Yeah, he's Cristiano's done all my books, all the interiors, most of the A covers, and I mean, he's gotten better over the years too. You know, we've been doing this since 2015. So, and this is book 14 or
Wow.
15 that he and I have done together. So we really have a nice relationship going with that. I mean, he kills it. He, you know, so it's just the colors pop and the way he does things. It's great.
No, it's beautiful. So he does everything: pencils, inks, colors, all of that, right? That's awesome.
Letters. Yeah, letter. There's
Oh, he
even
does
been
lettering
time.
too.
Yeah, I've even told him a few times, like, hey, I'll do the lettering. He's like, nah, I got it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. I mean, fair enough. Make less work for me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. When you could find, especially as an indie creator, when you could find that, man,
Yep.
that's incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's the man.
That's awesome. So this is page 1 right here.
Yep, page 1, and like I said, she has to leave because everything's crumbling. And
Yeah.
of course, page 2, we jump right in. I mean, she finds an old lady and her dog zombie. They're both zombies. She knocks her eyeball out, and then the old lady zombie eats it. You know, you get some pretty awesome gore there, and then we kill the puppy, but we don't show it.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do to survive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, can't leave him around. And this is where we get into Mike's example of a flashback page. Like I said, we went kind of monochromatic, and you can see the difference of not skill. What's the word I'm looking
Just
for?
art style.
Oh, style. There we go. Style. It's awesome. And actually, there's 3 pages of flashback that he did, and it's really fun. He was even posting about it, you know, showing like, here's how you do a story and stuff. And I was like, I'm taking that as a compliment that you're like showing people how to write a story and draw a story and stuff. So it's cool.
Congrats, man. That's high praise coming from a veteran like that.
Yeah, and there's been plenty of it, and I don't even know what to say. It's like I can't say thank you enough to him. It's been a real treat working with somebody, and I've learned a few things from him, whether he realizes it or not, just talking to him.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's I've told a couple of my friends it's wild that I'm like talking to this dude that like I have books of his on my wall and stuff. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Mike. Man, that's awesome.
Yep. And then we changed the logo for the comics, so I made it match the novel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So this is the novel here then.
Yeah. It used to have a not as awesome logo, but because I just made the original logo. Yeah. But I sent it to Cristiano. I was like, hey, you got any ideas for this? And like an hour later, he's like, here's this. And I was like, nailed it.
Done.
Bye.
I love it, man. Very cool. Here's the creative team right here. Obviously you, Josh. Here's Cristiano. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then the great Mr. Mike DiCarlo.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I've actually got a copy of Booster Gold #1.
Do you?
It's not graded. I'm hanging on to it in case I run into him at a con again, so I can get him to sign it.
100%. Yeah. Very cool, man. All right, then we get into some of the reward tiers here. So this is the digital of the novel and of the issue 1, right?
Yeah, and I think it's what, like $10 or something like that. I mean,
yeah, that's a really good deal.
Yeah, I thought so too. I would buy that.
So the cover and novel, so the physical is 19 and the digital is 10. Am I reading that right?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't have them memorized, but yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, that's a really good price.
Yep.
And then if you want all the covers, all 3 versions, pretty awesome, $22, very affordable.
Yep, those would look good graded on somebody's wall, hanging right next to each other.
100%, man.
Just saying.
Novel and version covers, which is cool. This is awesome, man. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it came out really good. I'm really, really happy with it. And I know I'm excited, and Mike's and Cristiano are both excited to get issue 2 going. Like somebody asked, I forget, I did a podcast and they said, well, when's issue 2 going? I said, the moment I ship the very last issue 1, issue 2 starts. So it's already written. You know, I just got to get them going on it. So
yeah, no, that's incredible, man. Yeah, you know how it is as an indie creator, man. Building trust with your fan base is really important. So you got it. And then you work with quite a few folks on a little stretch goal indie comic bundle, which is awesome.
Yep, I think I've done like 1 or 2 before given out. But this is the first time where I put out like a little note or whatever, a post, and I said, hey, anybody want in on this? And these were the first 6 that jumped on. So I took them, and I think Ed, obviously. Shoot, man, I can't. It's so small, I can't remember. Joseph, okay. Joseph Duas, Rodney Fike, Frank James Bailey, Caleb Toussaint, and John Westhoff. That's who's all those books.
That's awesome, man.
Who's who with indie comics?
Yeah, for sure. I think we all kind of follow each other too, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't think I've ever, other than on Ed's thing, I don't think I've ever seen you pop up in like people I may know or anything.
Really?
I don't think.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, Ed and I've been on his show now because he started his podcast, and he's been pretty regular, I think, on Saturday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
He might do another one during the week. I think he does like a music one that's not comic related, and then he has his comic one on Saturdays. But I mean, he's like on issue, I think, 13 or something for his title, so he's been going at it for a while. The rest of the folks, I'm not sure I know.
He and I know each other, not even from comics. We were in a very small toy group together. I think there's like 100 people in there.
Oh, wow.
And just he and I ended up being the ones that were doing comics in there, and we started talking about comics and stuff. And then of course now we're all kind of plugged into the same people. It's just strange how that works out.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. Love it. Perfect. So you're working with Comic Wellspring. That's where I print mine too. Yeah,
they're pretty good. Their customer service. I'm a big customer service person. If I can't get a hold of your customer service, or it's a pain in the ass, I don't want to work with anybody. They're pretty damn good. Like you email them or call them, they answer, or they email back pretty quick. I mean, shoot, they took 24 hours to answer an email and apologize about it. I'm like, no, that's like totally fine.
Yeah, I've never really had an issue. So
yeah,
agree, man. Pretty awesome, man. Beautiful. So what I'll do is we'll make sure that the link is below. So everyone watching right now, man, get over to Kickstarter. You got probably 19 days left by the time this posts. So plenty of time to jump in. You're so close to your goal already, Josh. But anybody who creates an indie comic knows that it almost always costs a lot more than what you're asking for on your Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
So, especially when you get artists like Mike, and you got to.
Yeah, my goals. A lot of people set their goals pretty high, which is fine. Like you can do it that way. I set mine. I more think about like, all right, what's the minimum I need to get to make it worth my time? Because it takes a long time to set these things up and stuff, and promote them and do all the podcasts. The $500 is really just the minimum. Each book really costs about $3,000 plus printing. So, and that's why you do stretch goals to kind of keep the incentives going. So for me, 500 is a good chunk, but I'd love to hit, 2 or 3 would be nice.
Yeah. You'd like to at least break even if you can. Here's all those stretch goals. So you're almost to goal. The next one would be that digital bundle we were talking about.
Yep.
I think any collector wants your signature on it. So we got to get to that 700 for that. There's a lot of really cool stuff here.
Yeah. A lot of people do a lot of fancy stuff, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against that by any means. I just keep them pretty straightforward. Like, let's do some comics. You can get a magnet, and really, if we hit $1,000, you're going to end up with 8 free digital comics on top of whatever you bought already. And that's even if you kick in $3. You kick in $3 and we get to $1,000, you're going to get 9 books.
Yeah.
9 books for $3 if we hit that 1,000. That's a steal. That's a ridiculous steal.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, man. Awesome, Josh. This looks cool, man. I'll definitely back it. Cannot wait to jump in. It looks awesome. The art is incredible. You got Mike on a cover, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And he's
more than that.
Yeah. He's already in for 2, 3, and 4 as well. So.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Yep.
Well, that is incredible, Josh. What else are we missing, my friend?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. We could talk about what you got going on behind you there. You got a bunch of figures and stuff.
Yeah. So you're still collecting a lot of action figures, or not anymore? Or?
Yeah, I do figures and comics, mostly vintage figures.
Okay. So more the Toy Biz and some of the older ones like G.I. Joe, Star Wars.
Yeah, I am methodically trying to get all of the Toy Biz X-Men.
Oh, wow.
So many of them, but I'm getting pretty close, actually.
Are you?
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. I think the only Toy Biz one I have is the She-Hulk Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got Silver Surfer, Human Torch, and Thing over there because I've got like a
Nice.
little. I can show people. I don't care. They don't know where I live. They can't break in.
Yeah.
So I got like shelves upon
Oh,
shelves,
that's cool.
just like you got going on. But right there's my Fantastic Four kind of section, Warlock, and all that. So
Awesome.
and that's just one room. I had to actually buy this house because I ran out of room in my last one.
Yeah, my wife's made it very clear that everything I own needs to stay in this room. So
Yep.
that's why I'm an out of the box collector. A lot of
Yep.
my friends collect in the box, and it just takes up
Yep.
everything,
That's,
man. I don't know if you know LT, but yeah, he is a like me. McFarlane's my biggest collection. I own just about everything he's done on the DC side and Spawn side. I know he's done a lot of other stuff too, but I probably have about 500 of his DC figures that he's done.
Yeah.
So
I might try to get that Christopher Reeve Superman. I looked for it today. The only McFarlane I've got the Princess Bride stuff.
Yep.
And then I don't know if you can see behind me that right there's where's that over here? Superman.
Oh yeah.
Statue. And I got the Wolverine from 340.
Yeah.
And Captain America's right there.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's the only McFarlane stuff I've got because I like DC. Don't get me wrong. I have over here is the DC wall.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Most of my stuff's Marvel.
Yeah, and I mean, I like both. I mean, I'm a fan of comic books, so I definitely read both. I lean more toward the DC side, just probably because as a kid, Superman and Batman were some of my first comics.
Yep.
But I love obviously Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, and Spider-Man are probably my two favorite. And then Fantastic Four. Yeah. I own quite a bit of Fantastic Four stuff. Yeah. I absolutely love Fantastic Four. But DC, I own more of just because I don't know, just more fond of those characters for some reason. Probably my comic book shop owner as a kid, that was his favorite. So there's just more to buy of DC. Who knows?
Yep.
I love it all, man.
Yep, nothing wrong with either of them, actually. So every year I get a Christmas bonus from my day job, and it's usually fairly significant. So I buy one big book every year. Nice. And this year was the first Silver Surfer was my big book this year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was looking at either that or first Ghost Rider, and I was like, Silver Surfer is probably hitting the MCU first, so that book will be skyrocketing and unobtainable. So that's what I went for.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I have a love obviously for action figure collecting and then comics. So those are my two things that I spend most of my time on. I do enjoy sports a lot, but yeah, not as much as I like comic books. So
yeah, I've got my spare bedroom in this house is all Packers stuff. Yeah, so
the Packer room, the cheese room.
Yeah, because it's just when I was in middle school, that was all my room was all Packer stuff. So now that's the middle school spare room, and anybody that stays in there, they get to sleep next to a signed Charles Woodson jersey. And
nice. That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm a big baseball fan. So growing up in Southern California, unfortunately, my favorite team has always been the Angels, and they had a good run in the late 90s, 2000s, but outside of that, they've been pretty awful my entire life, except for a couple spurts in the 80s. But it's been tough. And then I was a Rams fan too, and that's been tough my whole life up till this last few years.
Yeah, you got a good movie out of the Angels at least. So
yeah, exactly. That was about it.
I used to root, I don't really pay much attention to baseball. If I had to pick a team, it'd be the White Sox, only because that was my little league team for half a season.
Oh, there you go.
I played half a season of baseball. The coach told the pitcher to hit me with the ball on purpose, and I cried, and then I left.
That's a good reason to leave.
Yeah, that was it. But I used to like the A's. I liked the A's a lot back when it was Canseco and McGuire and those guys.
Yeah, the Bash brothers.
Yeah, what was that? Late 80s, I think.
Yeah.
There's another guy. Oh, Ricky Henderson.
He just passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest base stealer ever, man.
Yep.
Incredible, yeah. No, it's been fun, man. I enjoy it. I would probably say about, I don't know, 40 to 50% of all my comics are indie now. Just because I think the stories and the writing is a little bit better, to be quite honest, than Marvel and DC. I have my favorites, obviously, at Marvel and DC. but I find some of the most interesting story. You're not going to see Cocaine-Stripper Stronghold at DC or Marvel, right? So you just get
No,
unique
yeah.
stuff.
I sent them an email. They said no.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I don't think that follows our rules of what we can and cannot do. So, yeah. But yeah, I find I love indie scene, man. And there's just a lot of really good stuff right now in indie comics that I do spend a lot on indie now, which is fun. I love it, man. We have a great community, a lot of really good people that are within the community. And I feel like for the most part, everyone's willing to help and kind of share ideas and all that. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I've found it to be a pretty awesome community.
Yeah, for the most part. There are some shitheads like
Sure.
with anyone, but I keep those. One of the things. So I was in a band before this, and there was always, egos running around, and I used to tell my guys, I was like, look, we're not going to play those games. If somebody wants to start problems, you just let them start problems. Yeah. Don't react. And we did pretty good with that. And I think I only ever went to one guy's doorstep like once and was about to drag him out of his house. So that's pretty good. But when I started this, I was like, I'm not getting into drama. Will not do it. And actually only once has there been even anything where, like, I don't want to name names, but basically somebody was talking smack about an artist I worked with in my DMs. Yeah. And basically the guy messaged me and was saying like his art sucks or whatever. And I literally just said, fair enough. That's it. Yeah. And then the guy deleted and blocked me. And I was like, you're mad because I wasn't talking smack about the guy that I work with? Like, I told the guy that he was talking about, I said, hey, just so you know, this is what happened. Yeah. I haven't heard from that dude since. So
there's always one. There's always one or two. Yeah. Right. I try to stay away from a lot of topics that create a bunch of drama, man. This is comic books, man. I just want to get lost. Like, I don't want to deal with everything I deal in my regular life in my comic books. I go, this is my escape, right? You get into a story, you get, I don't know, you're in Oa with the Green Lanterns one day, and the next day you're in Gotham. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to get lost in, man. So I tend to stay away from all that stuff too, man. There's a lot of really good people that are good at drama and talking about who they like and who they hate, and they do really well. So good for them. That's not my thing, man. I just want to talk comics and build a community, man. I don't want anything to happen to comics either, man. I really enjoy them.
Yeah. And indies there's some expensive indie books out there too. As someone who buys and sells comics on the side as well, like, I bought a collection a while back. It was like, how many books was that? It was like 3,000 books or something like that. Bunch of Image indie books, and a bunch of them sold for a pretty decent price. So,
awesome.
Yeah, don't if you're just a collector and you're scoffing at indie books thinking, oh, it's not Marvel or DC, like there's monetary value in indies as well. Not just the stories, but there's money to be made there.
Yeah, try and find an original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's like one of my grails. That's like my probably top 3 I'd love to have.
Me too. I would love to. I don't know what they're going for now, but it's up there,
like
man.
$30,000 or something.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I think I've got, what do I have? Issue 6 or 4 might be the lowest one I have. I can't remember.
Pretty good, though.
Yeah, I can't remember if Rat King came first or that Triceraton came first. I know I have both of those. So I'd love to have even like a 2. Issue 2, which is, I think that's first April O'Neil or something. I'd love to have that.
Yeah. No, I would even like a low grade issue would be fine with me, just to say I have one. That's why when I see sometimes like Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 or some of these other ones, man, I'm like, I don't need a 9.8, man. Just give me like a 2 and I'll take it, man. Just want to be able to say I have it, right?
Yep. I have a rule that when I get graded books, I really want them to be a 4 or higher. That's like kind of I do have a couple 3s, but that was my own mistake. I bought them and sent them in thinking they'd be higher and they weren't, but it is what it is. Do you do graded books or not really?
Nah, I definitely have some. So like my favorite comic book of all time is probably Invincible from Robert Kirkman. So I have the entire run, all 144 issues. So issue 1 is going for a couple grand. I have that. I have Conan the Barbarian, which I love. I have the very first issue of Conan.
I just got that in the mail today.
Did you really? I
Literally
love
today.
it. I have Savage Sword. I have the very first issue of that.
Nice.
So I'm a big Conan fan. And if you're not
That's
reading
funny.
the current run right now from Jim Zub, oh my gosh, man. It's like
Okay.
Robert E. Howard's back alive writing Conan again. It's that
That's
good.
that's not Marvel though, right? It's
No, it's Titan Comics. So
okay.
Marvel lost the rights to
Right.
it probably 3 years ago, maybe, and then Titan picked it up. It's so Conan's owned by I think it's called Heroic Signatures, and it's a family that owns all the rights to Conan. So they moved it over to Titan, and I'm kind of glad they did because any kind of a big company like a Marvel or DC, right? They're gonna have a lot of rules, they're gonna have a lot of oversight. But Titan is a UK publisher. They're a little bit smaller. And Jim Zub wrote Conan at Marvel too, so he came over and they kind of given him like carte blanche to take this title and do what he wants with it as long as he stays true to Robert E. Howard, and he has. I mean, they were just at the Robert E. Howard house, which I think is in North Texas. They go every single year for Robert E. Howard days, and they plot out the next year of Conan stories based on Robert E. It's awesome, man. And Jim Zub is such a good writer. I love him. So it's been a lot of fun. So I got that one. What else?
I've got a handful of animation cells, and that's one of them from Conan the Adventurer is one of my animation cells.
No way. You know what I would love to have is some animation cells, which would probably be ridiculous, from Fire and Ice. Frank Frazetta and let's start with a B. Can't remember his name, but they did the movie in the early 80s called Fire and Ice. And I don't know if you know who Frank Frazetta is, but he's
an
incredible artist. He did a lot of the Conan books when they first came out. I'm trying to think of it. I have them right here. So some of these books right here. This is really he was already getting pretty famous, but when he started doing all the Conan books for Lancer, some of these little ones right here. So I have it's like a Frazetta cover. He exploded once he did that.
Did he do some What If as well? Did he do some What If?
I don't know if he did What If or not.
There was somebody, I had some What If books that I was selling for a decent price, and I can't remember. It was because of the cover art. So I can't remember if it was him or not, but it's similar to that style. Yeah,
this is probably his most famous Conan cover. I mean, you could get shirts, you could get phones, you could get all kinds of stuff out of this cover. But I'm a big Conan fan. And when these books first came out, these are the Lancer books. They exploded. I don't know when these came out, in the 60s and 70s probably. So I have quite a few of the Lancer books, but I have a big Conan collection. I have I'm short because there's like 300 and something in the series for Marvel. And I probably have half of them. So I'm still working on trying to find them. They're not too expensive, but $20 a back issue starts to add up when you're trying to get 10 through 20 or 20 through 30. You're like, eh.
Yeah, it's tough. I know when I first started collecting comics again, I saw somebody on YouTube did a full run of New Mutants. So that was like my first goal, was to get the full run of New Mutants. And of course, the dollar ones are easy to get, but once you get up to the 30, 40, the 98, and those, it's like, it's getting a little pricey, but I did it. I got full run, including all the specials and variants and everything. So
that's awesome.
Still trying to get a 9.8 in the 98, but I got a 9.4 newsstand. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'll take that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Got that in a collection, oddly.
Yeah. So, wow. That's incredible. Yeah, I've been working on a few different, like Spawn. I have almost everything. I'm a big Todd McFarlane fan, which is why I got into McFarlane Toys, which turned into DC since I love DC.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I got stuff everywhere, man. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, to be honest. And then I have a lot of Marvel. I probably have 100 Marvel Legends, Marvel Select from Diamond Select Toys, which we thought were going out of business. It looks like they're back. So we'll see what happens with Diamond Select.
Yeah, I think the only Select I have is technically my kids. I got him the Thing one year for, I don't know, his birthday or something maybe. But I'm always telling him, like, all right, when you're growing up, that's mine.
Yeah. The Thing is heavy, man. It's like a rock.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the whole Fantastic Four and that, and then I have the Marvel Legends, and I have some of the older ones. I was trying to see. Oh, my latest. So this just came in. I was telling you I'm a big Invincible fan. So
I've seen those. Target.
I just ordered directly from Diamond Select, but they should be in Target. I don't know if Walmart carries them, but you know, comic book shops everywhere carry them.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. Okay, maybe I just saw pictures on Facebook or something.
Maybe,
I saw
yeah.
NECA just announced the last Ronin, the baby turtles of the new
I
ones.
saw that. They look awesome too, man.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Well, there goes $50 or whatever those are."
Yeah, they're expensive, man. NECAs. That's why I really appreciate McFarlane. You know, people complain, but dude, $20 for a 7-inch figure, and it usually comes with a set of hands, another head sculpt, and a weapon. That's pretty good, man. That's not too bad, I don't think, for a toy.
Show you the other thing I got in today that I overpaid for because I couldn't freaking find it.
Yeah.
Lisa Mazza.
Gargoyles. Dude, yeah.
As a collector, I'm sure you've done this too. You see something, you're like, not right now, I'll get it later. And then you leave it and you never see it again.
Yep.
I saw this once and I set it back down. I was like, I'll get it later. Never saw it again. And now I had to pay double on eBay for it. I was kicking myself, but it's the last one I needed.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I did that with the most recent McFarlane drop. He did a Guy Gardner Green Lantern. And I missed it because I moved to Texas. It's 2 hours later. I'm used to going at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And I just lost track of time with work. And I went, and within 10 minutes, it was sold out. And I'm going through Entertainment Earth, going through Big Bad Toy Store, going through all of them. I ended up finding it on GameStop, which I was happy. But now that it's completely gone, you can't find it anywhere. So
I usually, if I go to GameStop, that's all I'm looking at is the clearance, see what's in clearance. I got the the Raphael with Damian Wayne. Did you ever see that figure?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, it was the first ever Damian Wayne figure.
Okay.
And right when I first started collecting toys again, it was I went into GameStop and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I looked at it and it was on clearance for, I don't know, $20 or something. So I picked it up and then I'm at a con, I don't know, 2 years later. So not 2 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, oh, how much is that running? And he's like, oh, it's like $90. I'm like, really?
Wow.
So I was like, sweet, good investment there.
Score.
Yeah, I left it in box and everything. So
nice. Do you usually keep all of your figures in box?
If it's new, like if it's like a newer, mostly yes and no. Everybody has their own little rules.
Yeah.
Sure. The gargoyles I get out. The Toon line of the turtles, which I don't have much of, I get those out. But like the last Ronin and the NECA turtles, those stay in the box.
Nice.
Yeah. I got out the monsters. I got the monsters out though, because they're just too cool to leave in the box.
Yeah, those are awesome, man.
Yeah.
Did you by chance collect any of the Thundercats?
The old ones, yes.
Oh, you have the old ones?
I bet you I have over $1,000 worth of the old ones.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I have a DTOF in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, the first two sections are heroes and villains of Thundercats. Then I got the first comic in back of the top, and then I got a different Thundercats comic, which is first appearance of Pumaira and Bengali and Linkso is there as well. I would show you, but it's around the corner in the dark.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's I got all the inexpensive Thundercat figures. Now all the ones I need are like $300 and up and stuff. So, but I only need about 5 more of them, I think.
Really?
To have all of them mostly. Yeah.
Are they hard to find?
Every now and then I'll find one at a con for a good price. Mostly on eBay. I got lucky. Some guy, so Bengali, you know which one that is? The blue tiger looking one?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that figure, I've seen it go, and don't quote me on these prices because it's something like this, but I've seen it going for like $500.
Wow.
For a long time. And then I want to say last Christmas, so not this last Christmas, the one before, I just happened to be on eBay and I was like, I wonder if anybody's got that for cheaper now.
Yeah.
Somebody had one for like $150 and I was like, buy it now, done, like quick. And so I got it in and it's in nice condition. And then literally the next day I looked and they're back up to 500. I was like, I don't know what that guy was thinking, but sorry about your luck, you know.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, this I think it's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I have Larry Kenny on,
Okay.
and he is the voice actor for Lion-O.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be on my podcast tomorrow night. So I'll be interviewing him, which is a lot of fun. And I'll have kind of the creative team for Dynamite on after that, because they have a backer kit coming up for the new omnibus, which kind of takes in, I think, the first 40 issues of the original run of Thundercats before Dynamite. So I'm excited to talk to him, man.
That's awesome. I get jealous because I do these podcasts and always somebody's like, yeah, I guess who's coming on next? And it's like, or who was just on before, like Justin that we talked about from the podcast. I think one time he had the dude that did Crit Keeper on, and I was the next guest. And I've been on the Canned Air podcast a handful of times, and always they were like, oh yeah, Eastman was on 2 days ago or something. And it's like, oh my God, like I want to send me an invite so I can just ask them one question real quick.
Exactly. I'll be honest, man. I've tried to get Eastman, and it's really hard for them to return anything. I'm sure he has constant requests, which I fully understand. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. But he's in pretty high demand.
Yeah, I met him at Cincinnati. I just went down as a regular person to the last Cincinnati Comic-Con, and because he was there. And they had all the X-Men voice actors were there too.
Okay.
So I got a bunch of Funkos signed by them, but I took the NES cartridge of the Turtles game and got him to sign it.
That's cool, man.
I gave him one of my books. I'm like, look, man, like you would be Stan Lee's dead, obviously, if you didn't hear. So for me, Eastman's number 2 now. So he's number 1 now on my list of like, I really would love to work with this guy on something. So I gave him the book. I'm sure I'll run into him again, and I'll probably say the same thing. Hey man, if you ever got anything you want me to write, So,
I love it, man. Well, I'm pulling for you, Josh. That'd be awesome, man.
That would be crazy. Yeah, tell Larry Kinney I said, what's up?
All right, sounds good. Well, Josh, man, it's such a pleasure to finally get to talk to you, man. Hopefully this isn't the last time. We got the Kickstarter 20 days to go. The link's going to be below, man. Everybody get out there and support Josh with Cutthroat Comics, man. Get your Cocaine-Stripper Stronghold. Check out Jane and everything that she goes through, man. I think you're going to love it. The art is fantastic. Got some amazing covers by a legend himself, Mike. So you have a lot of good things going on with this title, Josh, man. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Again, it's awesome to come on, and it's just funny how the internet works, man. Like I talked about Ed, and now actually getting to hang out with you for a minute. It's wild. It's wild.
I know. That's what I love about it, man. Just the community gets bigger and bigger, man, and I love it, man. We can learn from one another, man. There's a lot of things that I need some help with, and hopefully I have something for everybody else too. So it's a great community.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm always, and this goes out to not only you, but anybody else watching, if you're in the comic industry, you're trying to get started, I'm always happy to answer questions like about anything. So
I love it, man. Well, Josh, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me tonight, man. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll blast this out everywhere on social media. So I'll definitely connect you and copy you on everything, but everybody get over to Kickstarter. Let's get Josh up to that $1,200 mark. That is like, I don't know, that should be a done deal for you, man.
Yeah, you could get $9. $9
man.
$3 almost. Much more than $3, but technically you could get $9 for $3.
Exactly, man. It's no brainer, man. No brainer. All right, Josh, I hope you feel better, my friend. Let's do this again, man. I really appreciate you.
Oh, for sure, man. Thanks again. I like your sign. That's awesome. I want to get one.
Thank you. Yeah.
I've got a little one, like a little nightlight of Cutthroat Comics. I want one of those big ones.
Yeah. I'll have to send you the link to the guy.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Right on, man. All right, Josh, till next time, my friend. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk soon.
Sweet, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Talk soon.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.